Hi guys, it's Dakota. Hope everybody's doing well. It is blazing hot out there. I am in the witch cottage, as you can see, finally, once again. However, I did not turn the AC on first thing this morning, and I just turned it on when I came in here, and it is so hot. I looking at the camera, I look red in the face. It's really hot. So I'm going to try to get to this video. This is kind of weird for me. Actually, it's a little weird. Not really. I want to do it. I want to do this, but I don't know. I think people that know me, I'm a talkaholic. I mean, literally, I have an overactive throat chakra, and I'm a Gemini, so I'm overly talkative, and but I own it. So whatever. Anyway, but when it comes to being on video and cameras, I'm actually a little shy. I'm kind of shy, and I've had people go, "God, you don't act like it when you're on video." So maybe I'm overcoming it. Great news, right? Okay. However, so what I decided to do today, I don't think I've done this before. I kind of scanned through my videos and I didn't see anything. I saw a few things about, like who I am and what I'm doing and that kind of thing. But these, I wrote down questions that people have asked me in the past. And some of them I've already answered directly to that person that asked it instead of doing it on a video. But I thought, some people are really shy, and a lot of people don't like to leave comments, and that's fine. I watch a ton of videos, and I rarely leave comments, and yeah. So, however, if you like the video, click the thumbs up. I do leave thumbs up on videos that I like. All right, so what I want to talk about is I have a list, not a list, I have a few questions here that I thought were better questions, not better, but just, questions that might spark an interest that people have asked me over the course of YouTube as long as I've been doing my channel. And so I thought that I would just pick a few. I only just have a handful, and thought that I would answer them really quickly to the best of my ability. Thought they were just kind of fun. So anyway, here we go. One of the questions that I get asked more than not, maybe more than the others, is people asking about the farm. What kind of a farm do you have? So I just want to be clear. It's not a farm like we have cows and we have crops and we have, all of the things. It's a farm based on the property size. It's called a farm, the property size. However, we did have our horses. We still have one. My horse passed like 6 years ago. But we still have our one horse. We had like 8 goats. They have since crossed that little rainbow bridge, and I couldn't tell you a plethora of chickens. We had guinea when we first moved here. We had pheasant, ducks, you name it, we had it. And over the course of all of the years, so now we just have our one horse. We do not ride him. In fact, he is not ride broke. He is a sugar bear. He is spoiled rotten, and basically he's just a pet. He's just a pet. He's an expensive pet. It's not cheap. I don't care if you have one or you have 20 horses. It's not cheap. So anyway, yeah, he lives out there and he gets lots of attention. And then all of the chickens are gone with the exception of our feral turkin that wandered upon the farm. It's been 2 years now. Came out of the woods, came out of nowhere, and we kind of think we know where he came from, but anyway, he came. He found us here on the farm. He was very feral acting, very just so pathetic, just pitiful, very skinny, very frantic, scared to death, and he finally came around. We fattened him up, and he is funny. He has got some personalities. He cracks me up. And there was a time couple years ago, I think it was, I think it must have been last year. We were coming home from work, and I told my husband I wanted to get rid of him. I wanted to take him to. We have a little local zoo here. They call it a zoo, but it's a zoo, and they're super sweet people. It's more like a nature center with animals. It's very, very nice. And I said, oh, I think I'm going to drop him. I'm going to see if they'll take him. And I'm going to take him over there. Kids would love him because he's a turkin. It's a type of chicken. But from here up, he looks like a turkey. And from here down, he looks like a rooster. But he's so loud. And so I thought I'm going to take him over there. And okay, yeah, let's do that. And then my husband told me, did you know he only had one eye? And I never knew that. So because of that, I couldn't do it because, I feel bad for him. I mean, this is his home now. And so he's here. So that's the farm. That's the farm. And I call our house a cabin because it's a cabin. A cabin is a home that's built out of the trees, basically. It's not a log home, but it is all of this land was woods. The original owners cut the area out, and from that area they cut out 7 acres and cut the woods of the 7 acres or I'm sorry, 6 acres. I don't know. Anyway, they cut the land and cut all the trees down, but they brought in a sawmill and they cut the woods and they made the house out of it. So I don't like any tree to be cut down. However, I like to have a roof over my head, and I understand the process and the fact that they didn't just burn the woods down or sell them to a logger. I just like the idea that the house is built from the land. So it feels good to me. So that's what I mean by farm. We are surrounded. Yes, somebody asked about the woods. We are surrounded by woods. We have a total of 10 acres. And so our house is here, and around the house is all woods. So we can't see anything. You can look 360 degrees, and all you see is big trees, woods. We have hawk, we have owl, deer, wild turkeys, coyote occasionally, the Canadian geese, ducks, mallard ducks. Those are all free to come and go as they please. We had a creek, but it they diverted the water when Hurricane Florence came through. And so our creek no longer runs through, which is really, really a bummer because that was one of the selling features of this land. I fell in love with the woods and the creek, and I would spend so much time out there. I loved it, my favorite place. And now it's dry. And the only time it has water in it is when we get really heavy rains. I'm tempted to call the county and find out what's up, but at the same time, I don't really need the county up in my business, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, so I'm back here surrounded by the woods, very secluded and very isolated back here. And this is where I am most happy, back here in the woods. I absolutely love being alone back here in the woods. I love it. I love it. Okay. Somebody asked me, or someone said that they love the fact, talking about the woods, that they loved the fact that I had they lived in the city, and they love the idea that I had woods to wander around through, and they really thought it was the coolest thing that I will forage things in the woods, whether it is a stick with some moss on it or some crazy thing that I find in the woods, and then I make magic from it. One of the things that was mentioned was that they really thought it was really special the Luna moth wings. I did a video on Luna moth magic, and they thought it was really cool that I would find the wings and do magic with that. Well, here's the thing with that, and it's explained in the video, but a Luna moth, they only live for about a week. They don't have mouth. They can't eat. It just breaks my heart. It's so sad. And they're well, you know, they're gorgeous. And we do have bats, and which I love. And the Luna moth is like the bat's favorite gourmet meal, apparently. And so the bat will, and the Luna moth is nocturnal, as are the bats. And so the Luna moth comes out at night, and the bat comes, and the bat eats just the body, and then leaves the wings. And so I find wings all the time, all around the yard. And I try to leave some where they are because that is nature. And I don't want to be taking greed from that. But I do take some when I have plans for them. I have a little jar and I keep the wings in there, and I do use them. Yeah, I use them in magic. I use all kinds of things. We have sweet gum trees. They're horrible. The tree themselves is not. It's the little balls. They look like burrs. They're called witches' burrs. And I've done a video on that. So yeah, I love to go out and forage and collect things, and it could be anything. It could be a piece of bark. It could be some pine cone that looks weird, or just anything. And but I don't just take it. I always make sure that I leave some kind of an offering. I usually carry like my little pouch of dried tobacco, and I'll just leave like a pinch of tobacco out, and yeah, as an offering of gratitude. And then I research every item. I research it. I want to know what the magical properties of it, if there's any, the spiritual properties of it. What element rules that? You know, is it earth? Is it air? You know, what is it? So that when I have magic to do, when I have some spell work to do, or I want to incorporate something into my work, that I'm not just going, oh, this looks cool, and putting it in there. That isn't how I work. I want to know about, oh, this is cool. I want to know about that cool thing before I put that in my magic. So, yeah, so I feel really blessed to have that. Aren't I afraid to walk around the woods? Well, I will say this. In the summer, I don't do much walking around in the woods. Not here. One of the reasons is because when we first bought the property, I had my husband, we cleared out a little path because I knew that I was going to be walking through the woods, and and so I didn't want to be getting all cut up into briar and stuff. We have briar and stuff, poison ivy, which is another reason why I don't like to walk the woods in the summer, because it is thick. The poison ivy here is thick. I'm sure there's poison oak out there. I think I've only ever seen that once. I don't really know. I'm not real familiar with poison oak because I think the poison ivy eats it. But the problem with the summer is, and now I'm not afraid of snakes. I love snakes. I love snakes. But I don't particularly want to get bit by a copperhead, which is venomous, or worse, a cottonmouth, which are also called water moccasins. And those guys will chase you. They will chase you. They will get you. And they're deadly. You could die. You really could. I mean, it's nothing to play around with. Well, it's summertime. Guess who's out roaming around the woods? Not just me, but those snakes. And the other thing that I'm not afraid of them, but is ticks. I will tell you this. I have arachnophobia, and tick is part of the arachnid family. Need I say more? Plus, ticks carry so many diseases, Lyme disease, and all these autoimmune disease, just all kinds of things. They're nasty. And so for me to go out in the woods, then I have to put the tick poison stuff on me to keep them off of me. They'll get on your clothes, you bring it in, now the tick is in your house. So I don't like that. So I don't do much wandering around in the woods during the summer. I will go down to the dry creek now because I have a big path that goes through across the creek, but I don't stay for any length of time for that reason. So it's sad. How do you manage all of your activities and still manage to do videos? They're talking about how do I run a store, I own a store, run the store, how do I do my magic, do my personal work. I read tarot. We have a room, and we have a classroom, so I teach classes, all different kinds of classes, and I have my own personal work, and then we do Reiki, and we do chakra aligning, balancing, grid work on clients and our customers, and then of course, tarot. I'm at work. I study. I try to make a point of after dinner, get home from work after dinner, before 8 o'clock. I try to at least study one thing, whether it's reading a blog or whether it's getting in my book and just reading as much as I can. I'm a slow reader, so it's, I have to keep reading this. My mind can't focus. I have to keep reading it over and over again. And for me, I just feel like, when, and then, on my days off, on my days off, clean house, do laundry, go to the grocery store, all of the things. I'm just a normal person. I'm the normal person. But I am the normal person that I like a clean house. I don't like a house that is dirty, that hasn't been dusted or vacuumed. I don't like dishes in my sink. I like things put away, which is why I now have the witch house, because, well, I'm not gonna lie. I have a big, my dining room table. Yeah, you can't see it. It's full of witchy stuff. Okay. But everything else, I try to keep everything clean and put away. I don't like messes. And so, I'm really busy. But for me, I think that if I'm going to live the lifestyle that I want and that I'm accustomed to, then I'm willing to work. So that's what I do. I work. No, my shop was not handed to me on a silver platter. Sorry. We went from having an antique store, which was not handed to us on a silver platter. We worked for it. We started out doing yard sales, going to yard sales because it was fun. And then the next thing we knew, you could make money. We started renting a booth at a consignment store, and we'd buy stuff at yard sales because it was fun. We enjoyed it, and we'd take it to our little booth and we'd sell it and make a couple dollars, and it was fun, And then we started going to auctions, and next thing you know, we have an antique store, and it was great. We had it for, I don't know, 13 years, I think it was. And that was fun. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of work, and it was physical work. That was a lot of physical work, carrying furniture, and just that was a lot of work. But it was enjoyable. We loved it. We absolutely had a great time. I worked the store because my husband had his job, and but it was fun. We both enjoyed it, and we've worked for everything. We are workers. It's what we do. My husband is retired and from the military, and we work. If you want things in life, you have to work for it. You have to sacrifice. Is it easy? No. Are you exhausted? Absolutely. But I want a certain lifestyle, and it isn't anything exorbitant, whatever the word is. It's nothing grand. I just want, I want a lifestyle. I'm accustomed to this lifestyle. So I work. Yeah, that's what I do. And on my days off, I sit here in the witch cottage and I make a little video. um, but not always, right? I'm not always here. So, okay. Oh, and yeah, I do. I make products for the store. I make essential oil. These are all intentional. I make intentional essential oils. I make intention candles. I make some beadwork that I make, and I used to make some other things, but I had to bring it back a little bit on that because it's a long story. At the time, I didn't have enough employees, and so I was working my store. And then of course, that wasn't enough, so I had to add. Oh well, let's do Reiki. Hey, let's do this. Let's do that. And all of that. So I only just make a few things for the store, and I enjoy it. Not all the time, but yeah, I do. I still make it. I want to work. I like it. Oh, sorry. Okay. I like that you're so honest and open. I have been told that I am very authentic and truthful. And I'm only going to just say this. Being authentic and truthful, which I wouldn't have it any other way, this is who I am. And I'm not going to compromise who I am because you think being truthful is harsh. I try not to be harsh, but I'm not going to fake it either. Being authentic and saying your truth when asked. I don't go tap you on the shoulder and go, hey, by the way, blah, blah, blah. I don't. But I can tell you this. Those two things, being authentic and being truthful, isn't going to gain you a bunch of friends. Because people can't, I feel like Jack Nicholson on A Few Good Men. People can't handle the truth. And that's the truth. We don't like the truth. We don't, that isn't what we want to hear. We want to hear, nice, sweet, fluffy things. And sometimes the truth is not sweet, fluffy. But one thing that I've been working on with that for the past year, really for the past year, because over the past 10 years, there's been a buildup of stuff. There's been a buildup of stuff. And part of that buildup has been my own fault because I have compromised. I have compromised my beliefs. I have compromised my truths to appease other people. And what that got me and where that got me was not in a good place where I wanted to be. Because like I said, people take advantage of that, and then that becomes another issue. So for me, what I've been working on this last year, doing some shadow work on being my authentic self without being, like I said, tapping you on the shoulder and going, hey, blah, blah, we don't need to do that. But, and I understand, I'm not going to just walk into a room and go, hey, you guys, I'm not going to do that, right? I mean, come on. But I really got to a point in my life where I felt that I was allowing myself to compromise my feelings and compromise my beliefs, compromise who I am, so that to make others happy. I mean, that's the bottom line. I just don't know how else to word it without really sounding like, I don't care, because that is not true. But and that's just, it's just been all part of some shadow work that I've been doing this year. And I will tell you this, that I feel, oh my gosh, I feel so empowered and I feel so good about that. It doesn't mean that I'm this nasty old person. And the thing is, here's the thing. If you think that, I appreciate your opinion, because that's what you think. You might want to work on that and really look at where I'm at, and you know, does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I just I can't, what you think of me, what you think, I'm not reacting to that anymore, other than okay, like okay. And I'm actually truly, I feel okay about it. That's not fake. Most of the time, I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it. It's not anything that's going to happen overnight. But I will tell you this: it feels like a weight has been lifted. I feel very, very good about cleaning that out. Very good. I feel very good about it. All right, and so that is part of the shadow work. That was one of the questions. Was you keep saying you're going to do shadow work, but you haven't. Are you hiding some trauma? No. um, no, I did not have childhood trauma. I didn't. There was no abuse. There was no trauma. I was not raised in a religious, evangelical. There was not that in my house. It was just me, my mom. My mom worked 2 jobs. I was a latchkey kid, which I think, which I think is why I love my solitude. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with aloneness. I'm okay with that. Um, with being alone. I don't need people 24/7 around me. I'm okay with myself. I entertain myself. I can find things to do that I like to do and that keep my mind busy and keep me occupied. So, oh, you're never bored? Of course I'm bored. Of course I'm bored at times. Of course I'm angry at times. Of course I'm sad at times. Yes. I mean, yes, we have emotions. But if it's something that is out of my control, then I don't need to give in to that reaction. It's just how I feel. And that's what I'm working for. That's what I'm working towards. And it feels fantastic. It absolutely feels fantastic. Um, that's pretty much it. I'm just kind of looking. I kind of like put some things, questions together and answered it. So yeah, so that's it. Um, I'm just going to end with this. I think I did some spell work. I don't know when. I didn't go through all my videos, whatever. But I had written this down on an envelope. These are things. And it said, I know I'm able to rest. I'm able to be okay with rejection. Because for me, I know, and I think I read this somewhere, so that's why I didn't write this. I don't think those would be my words, but I wish I had written it because it's exactly how I feel. I'm absolutely okay with my aloneness, with being alone and just being with self. Um, being rejected, if I am being rejected, if I have that someone who has shunned me, has, you know, stuck a knife in my back, has rumored and gossiped about me, or um, just anything, anything that caused some sort of reaction with me that was a type where I felt it was a rejection. Um, oh, I wasn't invited, those types of things. I'm okay with that because I feel like that is divine protection. There's a reason bigger than you and me why that happened. And I am getting to the point. I've been there a few times already. I'm telling you, I've been there a few times already, and it feels fantastic. But I'm getting to the point where when I feel rejected, or or someone's walked away from me or whatever, I really feel like that is divine protection. That it doesn't just happen because I'm a bad person, because I know that I'm not. And I just know that I am not quite yet, but I am on the path to where I'm meant to be. And that is powerful. And I feel so good with that. So that's where I am. Thank you for the questions. Like I said, I probably didn't do how a lot of people, I've seen some videos, people answering questions, people ask questions. Anyway, that's just me being my authentic self. So there you go. So yeah, that was it. I hope to see you in another week or two. And until then, look at me getting ready. Sorry. So yeah. So, and thanks for watching. I really appreciate you watching. If you didn't watch the whole thing, was that rejection? Because I'm okay with that. I get it. It's fine. I'm like, that's okay. I mean, I'm fine. Okay. I'm gonna stop talking now. Have a good rest of the week. Be kind, and see you then. Love you. Bye.